The question, the member from Huron-Bruce.
Thank you very much, Speaker. My question is for the Minister of Environment. Speaker, yesterday we heard concerns from the Environmental Commissioner that there are pitfalls associated with the Liberal cap-and-trade scheme. We know there will be a significant flow of Ontario dollars to California. We have seen independent reports that indicate as much as $30 million by 2020 and $3 billion by 2030. Then just this morning, the FAO reported that there is uncertainty surrounding the Liberals' cap-and-trade scheme, for example, the impact of a fluctuating exchange rate, meaning that even more money could be spent to California to subsidize emission reductions there and not here in Ontario. Speaker, how will the minister ensure this Premier that hard-earned Ontario dollars flowing to California will reduce emissions actually right here in Ontario?
Thank you. Minister of the Environment and Climate Change.
Thank you very much, and I appreciate the question for the member opposite, Mr. Speaker. Our action plan, which I think many folks are now familiar with, it's been out since the spring, proposes an $8 billion investment that will deliver 9.8 megatons of GHG reductions based on programs that are tried and true around the world. This program will put $8,000 to $14,000 in the pockets of everyone buying a low-carbon electric vehicle. That's an unprecedented investment. This program will put thousands of dollars in the pockets of working families, not just to get rid of the polluting furnaces in their homes, but to cut their energy and heating costs and make life more affordable. This will make major investments in 158 major emitting states, like Nova Corporation in Sonia, who's already putting $250 million into reinvesting into them. Their plan, Mr. Speaker, has no money. They would leave Ontarians stranded with high energy bills and no way to manage a transition to a low carbon.
Thank you. Supplementary.
Back to the Minister, Speaker. We have heard concerns from independent officers of the House surrounding the Liberal cap-and-trade scheme this week. Speaker, independent officers, Queen's Park Media, the Loyal Opposition, the Third Party, and a whole host of stakeholders are uncomfortable with this government's lack of details associated with their cap-and-trade scheme. The only thing we can be certain of is that life is going to become more expensive January 1st when the price at fuel pumps go up and home heating goes up. Speaker, given this government's track record and glaring lack of program details, how can we trust them? Speaker, how will this minister ensure that their dependence on California allowances will not slow down Ontario's transition to a low-carbon economy?
Thank you, Minister.
Well, Mr. Speaker, we'll have our first auction in March, and we're anticipating that will be very, very, very successful. But, Mr. Speaker, it's interesting, and I want to thank the member very sincerely that she is concerned about cost of living, because her leader, the member from Simcoe North, is proposing a revenue-neutral carbon tax, which would, to achieve the same reductions we're achieving with $16, $17, and $18, would have to cost Ontarians between $110 and $150 a ton, Mr. Speaker. That would not see gasoline go up a couple of cents. That would see gasoline spike by dollars, Mr. Speaker. That would see capital outflow in a way that you wouldn't even begin to imagine. So if the member opposite has concerns about the price, she should be a supporter of cap-and-trade, like 60% of the world economy and nations representing 60% of the world economy who have chosen cap-and-trade over their system.
Thank you.